Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Green Circuits and Blue Skies. I'm Mark, and with me is Tom, the man who once tried to water his cactus with a fire hose.
Hey now, Mark. That cactus needed some tough love. Besides, I've since learned the error of my ways, unlike some people who still think a rain dance is an efficient irrigation method.
Touch on Tercy. Tom, speaking of efficient irrigation, today we're diving into the world of intelligent irrigation systems. It's like giving your garden a PhD in hydrology. So, Tom, imagine if your sprinklers were smarter than the average beret, or in this case, the average gardener. That's essentially what intelligent irrigation systems are.
Are you saying my garden hose has been outsmarting me all this time, Mark?
Well, Tom, if the shoe fits. But seriously, these systems are like having a team of meteorologists, soil scientists, and water conservation experts working 24/7 in your garden.
Sounds expensive. Do I need to remortgage my house to afford this green-thumbed AI?
Actually, while there is an initial investment, these systems can save you money in the long run. They're like the Marie Kondo of water usage. They keep only what sparks joy for your plants. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how these systems work. It's like your garden has its own personal weather station and soil lab.
So, my petunias are basically getting their own CSI team?
Exactly. These systems use IoT sensors to measure soil moisture, weather stations to monitor local conditions, and AI algorithms to process all this data.
Wow, that's more tech than in my smartphone. But how does this translate to actual water savings?
Great question, Tom. These smart systems can reduce water consumption by up to 50% while improving plant health. It's like going from a water hose to a precision pipette. Now let's look at how these systems are being used in the real world. It's not just for tech-savvy gardeners with too much time on their hands.
You mean there's more to it than impressing the neighbors with your futuristic lawn care?
Much more, Tom. In fact, there's a fascinating case study from a water-stressed region in the UK where they implemented these systems across 10,000 hectares of farmland.
That's a lot of smart sprinklers. What were the results?
They saw a 40% reduction in water usage, a 15% increase in crop yields, and even a significant reduction in fertilizer runoff. It's like giving Mother Nature a high-tech helping hand. Now, Tom, let's put on our strategy hats and look at this through the lens of a Wardley map. If we map out the components of intelligent irrigation systems, we see some interesting patterns.
Is this where we pretend to be corporate bigwigs and use words like synergy and paradigm shift?
Close, but no cigar, Tom. What we're seeing is that while some components like sensors and valves are becoming commoditized, the real value is shifting towards AI and predictive capabilities.
So, you're saying the future of irrigation is less about the hardware and more about the software?
Exactly. The Wardley map shows us that success in this space will require continuous innovation in AI and data processing. It's not just about smart sprinklers anymore. It's about creating an entire ecosystem of integrated solutions. Well, Tom, we've journeyed from simple sprinklers to AI-powered water wizards. Who knew saving water could be so high-tech?
Indeed, Mark. It seems the future of gardening is less about green thumbs and more about green algorithms. My plants are going to think I've gone all Tron on them.
And on that note, it's time to wrap up. Remember, listeners, whether you're tending to a window box or managing acres of farmland, intelligent irrigation is changing the game. Stay curious, stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time on Green Circuits and Blue Skies.